Thanks for watching. This is the next video of the combat series in which we're going to be doing Shilo Village, a little bit more of a complicated one here. But as you can imagine, getting down to the actual fight is a little bit of a risky situation with the undead ones. So you'll want to make sure you have your alt, if not more alts, here through this tunnel helping you with the undead ones so that you can get to the actual location to utilize your 3 bones on the door. Make sure that you have the settings correct on Runelight so you don't bury these bones. Obviously, you don't want the parry speed, but you also need to use them one after another. Once you've done that once, even if you were clapped inside, you shouldn't have to utilize the bones anymore. You're going to search the tomb dolmen, and that's going to spawn Nazastrool. Nazastrool has 3 phases, and it can be a little bit interesting because after each death, it is going to spawn in a different location, so it's not going to spawn in the same location every single time. What you want to do is utilize your alt to get a venom or a poison. Ideally, venom's easier with Serphelm and Blowpipe, and you can brew down a little bit so that you're not doing too high of damage. The 3 phases are kind of unique because in the first phase, for some reason, you can just kill Nazastrool straight up, and it'll move into the second phase. But if you accidentally kill the Nazastrool in the second or third phase without grabbing aggro on your UIM, or your iron of any kind, you will end up with an issue where it'll restart and you'll have to start all 3 phases over again. So once you've secured that venom proc or whatever, you're going to run back onto the other side on your alt, and then you're going to utilize something like a wine, which will reduce your attack to 0 from 1, and then also wear a fun weapon and make sure you have the lowest melee accuracy gear you can to go ahead and try to hit a 0. Now, you can accidentally hit a 1. It is possible. However, I believe with Dynamite, you'll likely get KO'd because of the fact that the Dynamite takes a moment and there's a couple of ticks that delay you from being able to do the damage, not to mention then you're relying on actually hitting, which isn't a secure source. So this is a little bit of a stressful quest, but once you've done it, you'll move into the second phase. And it's pretty straightforward. Here I am with a pretty cluttered inventory, and I'm still pulling it off. As you can see, when Nazastrool comes into its second form and spawns, it can spawn anywhere. So you just want to be really paying attention to your skiller or 10 HP account and make sure that you're prioritizing the movements on that account over the alt. Once the alt does attack, it'll pull aggro, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. But I would just stay in that safe spot and just treat the dolmen as essentially a 4x4 square that is helping you block the Nazastrool, which I believe is, 4 tiles as well. If not at least 2, so it gets stuck pretty easily. So the reason you want to actually do Shilo Village is not just because it's some kind of prerequisite quest or to just get the quest done. I mean, why would you essentially kill a high-level NPC that has 3 forms just for some quest points? Some people might do that for completionist sake, but what's the actual benefit, especially for UIM? For other accounts, maybe, but I would just say quick access for 1 to Shilo Village. So from Brimhaven, where the charter ship is, there is a little cart that you can utilize to get straight into Shilo Village. There are some items that are useful to buy from the general store in Shilo Village, as well as you've got the mining gems that you can mine for whatever reason if you want to do mining / crafting XP. But overall, for me, it's the ability to actually purchase the items for glass from the charter ship and then be able to go instantly into Shilo and utilize the furnace to make that into glass, and then make those items into whatever glass item I'm able to make at the highest level as I'm running back to buy more, hopping worlds in between. So it's a decent crafting method for glass versus just buying it and having to figure out some weird method. Again, there aren't the greatest crafting methods for level 3s, to be fair, that don't have a bank, but you're probably going to utilize glass and purchase it differently via giant seaweed on an account that has a bank. So after that, you're able to get the corpse, and it's pretty straightforward from there. Now, this can definitely be a little bit nerve-wracking. If you're hardcore, make sure you're just super careful. You might want more than 1 alt. But after you've done it, you can be sure that you've completed the hardest part of this quest, not just running through NPCs that can slap you, but actually fighting the main boss and unlocking Shilo Village, which is a requirement also for One Small Favour, which I will have combat tutorials for in the future. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.